Good afternoon. I wanted to send a quick video out to just give an update on where we are, and I know that in the news, districts are starting to send out their plans, and they're starting to be reviewed by their communities, and there's lots of feedback that's happening with those plans. We've received the same guidance from Department of Health as well as the State Education Department, and I can tell you this, it's going to be extremely difficult to meet the requirements of the guidance. We're diligently working on creating our plan that will have to be submitted this Friday. The plan is a working plan, which means it will change to a certain extent as we move through the summer, but the nuts and bolts of the plan, 95 to 98% of the plan, will remain the same. Our plans are going to work towards meeting the needs of all of our stakeholders. Our stakeholders are our teachers, our students, all the employees in the district, as well as the parents and the community. And so in doing these plans and working together, we're trying to balance the needs of all parties. No plan will be perfect, and we're going to do our very best to ensure that anything that we've been talking about thus far, there's monkey wrenches that occur within every concept or every idea that we have. It's just the way it is. And so we'll do our best. And so I guess here's what we're looking at to do. In our pre-K through 6 model, we understand the need for those students to be in person with teachers every day. It's very difficult for them to do online learning. It's very difficult for them to do the virtual piece. And if anything, they always needed someone sitting next to them. So our goal is to have our pre-6 kids, pre-K through 6th grade, be in person every single day. And we understand that the difficulty we're going to have in that, I just kind of want to talk about a little bit. So in order for us to do that, we'll need to social distance those students. Those students will need to wear masks. Those students will have to have periodic temperature checks. We'll have to sanitize our buildings on a daily basis, more than what we already do. And the difficulty will be huge, but we feel that by having them here every day, it would be better than them not being here every day. And so we will work with all of the issues that come along with that. Little kids wearing masks, little kids not understanding how to social distance. But we will figure that piece out. In the high school, or 7 to 12, we're looking at them to not be able to come every day, but to be on 2 days, off 2 days, on 2 days, and when they're off, it would be virtual learning. We feel that the older students are more independent. They certainly will be able to do the virtual learning a little bit easier than the younger kids, despite it still being very difficult. And with all of these plans, we're trying to, because we have to make smaller class sizes, we're trying to use all of our staff, and we just wouldn't be able to do everybody coming to school every day like it was the way we knew it to be. Again, no plan is ever going to replace what it was and what it used to be. There are going to be hiccups and problems with each of the plans that schools are pumping out to their communities, and we're not going to be any different than that. Regardless, all of our plans, we need to be able to pivot on the dime. And there are going to be some impossible pivots that I'm asking the community to make. For example, if a kid gets COVID, our plans are designed to work where kids are in cohorts. And what a cohort is a small group of kids that travel together, or not even travel, they're in a classroom together all day. And the reasoning behind that is that if a kid gets COVID in that classroom, we may be able to just shut down that classroom. Doesn't mean that every kid has COVID in there, but those students would be quarantined, and it would allow maybe a small portion of the school to be shut down, while others can certainly still continue to be educated. And so if that were to happen and kids have to go home and quarantine, families then are going to have to figure out daycare for those students who have to be quarantined for a certain amount of time. That's not going to be an easy thing to do. And so those types of pivots are going to be very difficult. And you know, if the governor comes in and we have to shut down as a whole community, we need to be able to pivot to going virtual. And again, that's not going to be an easy move or an easy change. But in closing, I would say this. I've lived in this community for my whole adult life, for the last 25 years, and I've seen our community rally and do amazing things. This situation is certainly unique, and I'm convinced, though, that this community can work together and rally like we've always done. And so as we move forward, and this week especially, a lot will happen this week where we create and finalize our plans. The purpose of this video is just to give you an update that the community needs. I know you have a lot of questions. We have a lot of questions. Our attorneys and everyone around me and our advocacy groups are asking for more guidance from the governor's office as well as Department of Health. We meet every single day with all stakeholders within the building, as well as our attorneys, as well as superintendents regionally are meeting every day. And we're doing our very best to make a tough situation as good as possible. And so as we move forward, we will do the very best we can, and that's all I can ask for. So thank you, and more to come. Please continue to look at our website, and please continue to, if you have questions, email or call, and I'll do my very best to answer whatever I can. Thank you.